Hey, it's Glines from the-automator. Another episode of what we automated this week with AutoHotkey. Looks like we have 114 files found, and I'm going to jump into it. So, we've been doing a lot of client work. For biofeedback. They've been having us make their scripts more robust, and this is tools that they sell, which is really cool. We're also helping them with their website and how to sell it, which is more complicated. They have a very complicated model and how they go about doing it. So it's been a little tricky, but we're finally there. So again, with client work, I can't go into the specific. Honestly, it's not relevant, but we're just automating a process on a given program for them. Unfortunately, that tool doesn't allow for like Win32 controls or UIA or COM, most of our approaches that we use. So sometimes we're actually sending mouse clicks, which, as you know, we try to avoid. But sometimes you got to do, and even image search to find certain things to check the state of the program and things. So, yeah. All right, so let's get down into, oh boy, again, a lot of stuff for them. They've been eating up a lot of our time, which is great for revenue, but we haven't had time to work on projects. For Danny, we're doing some really cool stuff with AI. There were 2 releases this last week. One was from a medical company that says they're the best at voice recognition for medical terms, so that'll be really helpful for him. He's a radiologist. It'll be very helpful for him to have that come through better. And then the other one was the big release from OpenAI, talking about they have voice-to-voice models. So you can skip the voice-to-text transcription and then have the model understand the words from the text. It actually understands the words from the speaking stream. So that has huge potential to speed up Danny's workload, because that voice-to-text, even though it's pretty fast, it still is slows down things. So if we can do the voice-to-voice and understanding it innately and go from there, that really could help him speed up his process. So we're looking at that object for him. And with Jeff, also, Isaiah's works with him in the afternoons, doing a lot of stuff. I actually have a side project where I had Urfian go on my LinkedIn group. I'm an admin of the program that I went to grad school in, so I have a master's in market research, and so there's 670-ish people, and so we're looping over the group to rip out their current jobs, where they're located, their email addresses, stuff, so we can help the current members when they graduate. They can have a list of like local people or people that are interested to them and have their email addresses. So even though they could do it manually, we're building a database for them. So that'll be cool. All right, now we're getting into some fun stuff. So AutoHotkey string lookup. I was trying to use Claude to convert, and I might have to get back to it. It was getting close, and I ran out of time. It was right before the hero call. But this AutoHotkey string lookup tool, it's a great tool if you can't remember your hotkeys. Let me see if I can launch the V1 version. Nope, I changed it, I think. So yeah, it didn't find my hotkey to launch it. It didn't work. But, well, this would open up the main, but I think I can hold on Alt and click and open up the folder. So let me move this. So this is the V2 version, but if I go to the V1 version, this is the one that there was no V2 version, so that's why my path to it is broken, because I created a V1 and V2 folder. One of the bummers of putting tools into programs is that, you hard code the locations. So anyway, this allows me to, if I can't remember, I can search. So if I didn't remember the reload, oh, look, I got 3 things with scripts, with different scripts that have a reload hotkey in them. And I can tell it to filter on, I only want to see hotkeys or hot strings. I can look at the files. So these are all the AutoHotkey files I have running right now. And I can put exclusions in the background stuff. But it's a very, very cool, this is one of the few scripts that, to me, it's worth it to convert it to V2, because some people only have V2, and this one, when you're new, we actually, during the hero call, Dale was talking about trying to remember hotkeys, that it's harder to remember hotkeys compared to a hot string, because of course a hotkey, you have a couple letters, and they may or may not, like mine, Control-Shift-E goes to edit, and Control-Shift-R goes to reload. So there's like a pattern there, right? It helps me remember that. With hot strings, though, of course, you can put in words, and the words are much easier to remember. Just remember, both a hotkey and a hot string are triggers to launch something. Now, normally a hot string triggers the launching of the snippet, the text, but it doesn't have to be. You can use it to launch anything really. So yeah, so we were talking about that. Let's get back into. So I had given it to Claude, and I didn't quite finish up with it, but it was getting close on creating a V2 version of it. Input hood example. This one we have a great video on. I actually made a link. I'll put it up in here to go watch through this video and how to. It's another great way to get user feedback and type and kind of trigger hot strings. Use hot strings to trigger things, but in a cool way, and you can make it dynamic too. And that's what we were showing Dale was the piping in of your name. That's very cool. Clone speak. I was working on some. Actually, menu test. Yeah, I need to. I was telling Isaiah, I have a tool. Let me pull it up. Pretty Link Manager. This connects to our website, the Automator, and I can quickly search for it. Let's say like snip. Let's say I forgot the. Oh, look, here are all the ones, and I very quickly. This is the actual URL it goes to, but I get the Pretty Link when I double click it. I was telling Isaiah, I need this for our client stuff because I do so much work for them, and it takes me time to find the URLs, but I realized, hey, I have a very simple way with AutoHotkey to just show me a list of the actual URLs. I just need the URLs. So I don't need this. This is live, connects to our website. I can hit refresh, and it pulls it. Sorry, it's not live, but because it pulls it when it starts, and then it's static until I hit refresh. But I rarely update these. So once every couple days, I'll add a new one. But it's very cool to have that where I don't have to go do work to keep it up to date. All right, clone speak. Yeah, that's where we've used 11 labs to clone people's voices and create audio from them. The AI OCR. This one, again, I would still say this is a phenomenal tool. The OCR is amazing using AI. And with Claude 3.7 also, it should be even better. I haven't actually tried to say like it's doing things better, but Claude is definitely better at OCR. Smart file renamer. I actually used Claude, and I gave it my libraries. Let me show you, at least in general, what I did with Claude. Oh, I may not be able to log into it. Well, I can try. Because I have that other script running, and it's detecting... Oh, here we go, projects. Yeah, it's right now I'm blocked because this is actually a Refadium browser. Refadium is controlling it, and it's somehow detecting that. I noticed that earlier. So I could log in with Edge. Oh, you know what? Can I access my, this is the desktop version of Claude. Can I assume, here we go. So the Automator H code with libraries. So here, and unfortunately thankfully I have my webcam reminder right here, so I remember you guys can't see all this. I'll drag this down a little here so you can see. That did not work as intended. There we go. So these are the files I've uploaded. The base64, JSON, GDI plus, 1000 separator, notify, can export. Where's the Claude? I uploaded the Claude library. It's not showing here. I know I uploaded it because I used Claude to develop. Did it not get uploaded? This is why the JSON library is here. So I'll show you how easy that is. So I want to add a new library, and I would navigate. I think I have a hot string that gets me to the V2. Yeah, Claude. Maybe this will explain why it was having so much trouble. Where? Oh, because it's my bad. There we go. So now I've uploaded the Claude library, and in my project here, I tell it I've uploaded V2 libraries. At the top of them, there's this file that it's commented out, but it tells it the local path to those files. So when Claude, ooh, look, I have a typo. Not that matters much with spell check. It would interpret that just fine, I think. Anyway, so it will use the include path, and it will, when it writes it for me, it will shove that back to me. So let's look at one of these that I was working for. So I had Claude create a tool that uses Claude, the Claude API, and it was doing a pretty good job overall. Let me get back to where we can see the full thing here. There we go. So I was telling it to rip out some stuff in the file names, get the selected files, And anyway, it ended up creating a script that runs that uses the Claude API. So Claude wrote a script using Claude. So very, very cool. And I've been doing more and more of that. So that was what I did with this Claude. Well, these were scripts Claude created because it was getting stuck on things, and I think that's why, is because even though I swear I uploaded that file, it didn't. And look at that. That's interesting. That should not be there. But it was getting stuck on using the API, and so it created test scripts to work through things, which was really interesting. So, all right, so transcribe and summarize. This is the tool I use all the time. It's great for summarizing videos or extracting the subtitles, extracting video or audio from a video. It's really cool. I have a video on that. This one, I actually told the guys to stop working on this because I thought it was further along, and I didn't care for the interface the way it was working. It was we need things really easy for people to use, and we would have to train people how to use this tool, and that just defeats the purpose to me. So I said, you know what, let's just stop working on it. Bring window to mouse. This one, I just released the video on this last week. It's a great tool. If you're ever remoting into another computer and you can't see all the windows, this tool is phenomenal. Really help you bring anything that has a GUI to where your mouse is. So if it's off screen somewhere, you can hit a hotkey, list the programs, and move it to you there. It's really cool. This one resets your Chrome zoom, although I think Rizwan said that wasn't working for him, so I don't know if we have a download for that. Color under mouse. This gets the color under your mouse very quickly. This one we should be releasing soon. If it's not already, it should be a download. And this, when you right-click on Explorer, this context menu, if there's items in here, you can programmatically trigger those. So you could write a script that would actually trigger them without pulling up the menu. So that's what this one does, is it writes you the syntax, helps you identify what you want to trigger, and then we'll write code, because sometimes there's certain things in here, depending on the folder you're on, that you might want to do. And that's how we get the Dropbox link. If I was in Explorer, I was using the Do Not Disturb earlier. Now here I'm not on, no, I am on my full path. So when I right click here, I have these Dropbox items, right? So I want to have a hotkey to get the link for this Dropbox file so I can share it very quickly. So I don't want to have to right click here and go find this, because that's annoying. So that's one thing with that library that I just showed you. It will write the syntax to give that to you. Convert to icon. I had Claude write a couple scripts. It wrote one to convert a PNG to an ICO, which was great. So I can have icons that were PNGs. What I also tried to do was to get it to convert an SVG to a PNG, and it was having problems. Apparently that's much harder than I expected. And inside convert to ICO, this one, I said, hey, let's make it where we can convert a bunch of them. So PNGs, SVGs, JPEG, all to ICO. But the one I added was also the WEPB. I forget what it is. It's the new format that you'll get from some AI tools. And that also had some problems with that one. So I haven't finished that. But that was one I was using that GDI library. Again, I pushed that into my project and then had it using those tools, which was great, because it's less work for Claude to do. It can see that they're there, and that's working code, right? So I don't have to worry about if it's solving those problems. I didn't realize we updated FlexiFinder, but yeah, that's a great little search tool. Our Claude library, we just recorded, during the Hero call, we recorded a little session on it, and I'm going to extract that and share that, a little bit of how to use the Claude library. Click verb. I have no idea what this is from. Apparently, I think Rizwan's going through and updating the library some. We're creating a prompt assistant module for us internally with these S drive paths. So this will have the path for us in the module, and it makes it easier for us to use and include. But I don't know what click verb is. I forget. We have a little class for split path, which is cool because it's nice to be able to. I don't care for the function split path in AutoHotkey, just because of the way you have to use it with the biref stuff or the input stuff. So this allows you to push the whole thing in and then just ask for what you want back. Start a map. I guess that converts a string to a map. This is the LinkedIn script I was mentioning about looping over the profiles. The one thing is, so again, I'm not sharing that one either, but when you automate on LinkedIn, LinkedIn will detect you're automating stuff, so you have to be very careful or you'll get your account locked. Usually they warn you a couple times, right? So what I'm doing is I go over roughly, let's see, what is it? Let's say like 100 a day of profiles, and then I just pause the script. I could exit out of it because I keep track of the search page I'm on. However, just find a way to work through it and not do too many in one day, because you'll get banned. And they usually will let you come back, especially if you're paying money. But I'm not paying money to LinkedIn, and I have over 16,000 people connected by account, so it's a good thing. I want to keep LinkedIn, but that's getting the group members. We had some problems. I was just noticing this was Irfan. This is your Chrome profile and getting it to pull up the right profile. Prompt assistant. I guess he must have done a little couple tweaks. I know Rizwan was on the wrong version, so we updated that. But I updated mine earlier today to launch this tool to add a couple more. Let me show you, because it's really cool now when I go into prompt assistant. Tools, I go to that recently modified file. So now when I trigger this from my menus, not only do I launch the recently modified files, I send the # numpad1, which adjusts my DPI for me because I have that script running. It does this webcam reminder that I mentioned. This is behind the webcam, right? So you guys can't see it, but it helps me remember that you guys can't see certain things, anything that's there. The URL memory is what keeps track of the URLs. As I copy them in the videos or make a video, it will put them into a file so I can share it in the YouTube video. And then it launches OBS if OBS isn't running. This checks if OBS is running. If it is not running, it will launch it. And then I added the do not disturb, because when I'm making these videos, I don't want to be disturbed, right? I don't want to have my notifications coming through. So I added all those to that one. So now I just launched this recently modified files in Prompt Assistant. It's not in the recently modified script, right? This is in Prompt Assistant. So I don't want to trigger it, but this is Prompt Assistant's main GUI for preferences. But when I close that, I come in here, tools, and if I was to click it here, it would go trigger those, 5 things. So yeah, very, very cool, simple way to be able to launch multiple things. You do have to know AutoHotkey, right? But yeah, if you know AutoHotkey, it's very easy. Here's that script itself. I made some changes on. We actually changed that script. If you download it now, you can easily change the extension. Let me show right here, and I think I showed this before. So now you can change the extension here, change the days run, and it will go, look, when I'm done with this, I'll try to remember to go back and run it so you can see how it changed. But it turned it into a very flexible script. Here's the webcam reminder I just mentioned. What I realized was this webcam reminder, for whatever reason, Azais didn't make it where it was resizable. He was just manually hard coding it, which I'm like, why would we do that? I don't know, because on my screen, when I adjust the DPI, it's a different size, and I want it to be somewhat close to what my webcam is. And sometimes I change the size of my webcam. So I edited it to make it, Claude edited it for me to make it resizable. I just didn't know if Azais wanted that, so I created another version of it, and I'll get him to look at it and say, yeah, let's just incorporate that, the main one or not. Our event participants. This script, it's cool. It uses UIA and Zoom and looks at the waiting room, and when I run it, it will automatically add, because I can't disable it in the hero call because I haven't set up a secure password, and so it will just. It's annoying to have to watch who's in the waiting room, and so this script automatically adds them if there's people in there. But I started off paused because otherwise it adds people before the hero call starts, because of course I start the meeting before the hero call. And I guess that was some sort of a test, which is horrible. Yeah, that's a great script. But yeah, let me go back now that I finished with this. I'll just show you here. So let's say I wanted text files in the last 7 days. Now, I don't have it built in here where I can change where it's searching. That really complicates things because I'm searching multiple drives in different folders in different places, and so I wouldn't want to lose that for myself. We could probably tell it set the root folder and look beneath it, that's something that could be in this GUI. So there's a lot of text files. How about what any files? No, because then, well, I don't have to click on them, I guess. So it's just a cool tool that you could adjust. Now, this IntelliSense is built for AutoHotkey, right? So obviously it won't do a good job showing colors, but it's still often, it's pretty surprising how, let me see if I can find something that, that's interesting. 17 files found, and there's nothing here. So another, maybe a bug, I suppose. Oh, it doesn't seem to be responding. There. Oh, wow, that was weird. Took a long time to finish. So a lot of settings. Add to startup. That looks like one that's safe. So it does have a little bit of color, but not a lot, right? So we could maybe pick a couple of the any file. Text obviously wouldn't be a good one, but we could say, look at this extension and adjust the color codings based on what this is. We could use the site file. I have a ton of properties, I think, and like over 80 for different languages. So we could probably say like HTML. I wonder what happened. Actually, let's see. That the newsletter and emails and stuff should find it. I wonder why it takes so long at the end here. I'm going to have to get them to look at the code and say, what is it doing? It does actually go search it, like I said, in a couple of different drives. And so maybe that's the long delay as it's finishing up somewhere else. But this is still ridiculous. Like that's should not take that long. Here's our hero. Well, I don't want to click on that. Here's the newsletter. Oh, and look, it actually, again, even with AutoHotkey code, like it does a pretty good job of just highlighting. I don't think that's actually HTML highlighting, but you get the idea, right? It's pretty cool. This I cannot edit, and well, we could build it where we could edit it, but I don't want to do that. I just want to easily peek inside of files, because super handy to not have to go open the files, right? I can very quickly see what's going on. So hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please like the video. It really helps us out. Remember that Hero program. It's a great program. We have a lot of people that are learning a ton of stuff. And we also have, great courses that have a double your money back guarantee. And we do a lot of done-for-you work, obviously, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, but we started this business. I started this business because I love helping people, right? And creating little tools that help people save time, because I hate wasting time. And I found out that people like Maestrieth and Isaias and Irfan can do in minutes what would take me hours, if not days, easily. And not only can they do it faster, but they do it more robustly, and it will work better, and it's easier to update because they're using objects usually, and it really helps. So if you're struggling with your code, I'll put my calendar link up here. Book a meeting. Let's look at your code if you want, and just see if we can help you, because your time's worth money, right? The sooner you realize your time's worth money, the sooner you'll realize that our fees aren't so expensive. So, and our fees are going up soon, by the way, if you're watching, if you're a client. I've told a couple people, but here next month we're raising them roughly 10%, because we haven't raised them in several years, and with COVID and stuff, it's time. But anyway, hope you have a great day. Cheers.